Right. So I've been really interested in a lot of the stuff that you've been saying about dreams because I've been lucid dreaming a lot for many years, but always in a sort of atheistic way, as sort of like a game or something like that. But because of seeing your talks and everything, I've started to think of it from a different perspective. Like you're now interfacing with something beyond the narrow scope of your conscious awareness, that, or something like that, maybe mythological or maybe something like God. And so what I've been thinking about, and what I maybe wondered what you think about it, is that in some ways when you're lucid dreaming, you're kind of you're getting beyond the limitations of an ordinary dream. You're sort of transcending limitations, which maybe is like, it's not the purpose of people, right? It's because as a person you're supposed to be limited in some way, as opposed to like God, who's like not limited. And how, but on the other hand, it's a good opportunity to kind of have control over your interactions with this like very special and like interesting thing. So I guess the conundrum is that on one hand, like you can control your interactions, but on the other hand, like you are controlling them. So I guess I'm wondering, what do you think about that? And also just in general, what do you think about lucid dreaming as a thing? Like, should you do it? Or
I had a client who could really lucid dream, you know. And one of the things, she used them now and then to solve problems, even though she didn't always pay attention to the answer. But sometimes she did. In one of her dreams, one of the characters told her that she would have to learn to live in a slaughterhouse. She was very afraid of life. And one of the consequences of that was that we went and watched an embalming. So the dreams were, but one of the things she did, she'd ask the characters what they were up to. You know, she was, instead of controlling, she would inquire. And so, but I don't know what to say about lucid dreaming beyond that. Like, I know it's a well-documented phenomena, and many people can do it, and women seem to be able to do it better than men. That's what the research indicates. But I think that what we don't know about lucid dreaming could fill a lot of books. So I think you do. There is some danger in controlling it, I think, because you lose the spontaneous revelation, although not completely, because you can't control it completely. But you see, you might be interested in reading Jung's works on active imagination, because he kind of learned to dream when he was awake. And he spent a lot of time in the world of imagination when he was awake. The Red Books, for example. The Red Book is a document of his experiences with awake dreaming. But he was very interactive with the dream, you know, instead of trying to bend it to his whim or his will. He was exploring it in some sense like you'd explore a video game, you know, which are forms of dreams in and of themselves. So, yeah, I would say do it with an exploratory purpose in mind. And you could always ask yourself what you could learn too, which is a very dangerous question to ask a dream, because sometimes you'll find out what you have to learn. That's not so pleasant, but it's really worthwhile. Okay, yeah.
Hi, thanks for the talk. My question is also about dreams. You spoke about dreams as like a representation of truths and universal truths that can be interpreted into like myths and religion. And as you say, it's very beneficial for the individual, and it sounds like also for the society as well, because not everyone can as easily remember their dreams or interpret their dreams like that. And also it's like broadcasted to all of society for their benefit. So I guess I'm wondering what the evolutionary advantage of dreams are, and my question would be, do you think that dreams suggest some sort of evolutionary group selection, such that like groups that don't have these dreams that are represented into myths and religion, do you think they didn't survive as well?
Okay, so I'm not going to answer the second part of that question, because I'd have to go too far off at a tangent for me to manage right now, but I can answer the first part. I mean, what happens when you're dreaming, there's a little switch, so to speak, in your brain that shuts off when you're dreaming, and it stops you from moving, right? It shuts everything off except your eyes, because if you're moving your eyes back and forth, you're not going to run around and get eaten by a lion. It's okay to move your eyes. But the rest of you is staying exactly where it is. Then you can run these simulations. And so what's happening at night, and this is a fairly well accepted theory of dreaming. We know that dreams update memories and help consolidate memories. They also help you forget. But what seems to be happening at night is that you're running the underlying architecture of your cognitive ability in different simulations. And it's cost-free because you're paralyzed. You're not running around there out in the world investigating. So it's part of the manner in which your brain experiments with the way the world can be represented. And so, and it seems absolutely necessary. And I mean, if you deprive people of REM sleep, they don't stay sane very long. There's something necessary about the dreaming process to maintenance of the of articulated sanity. So you're doing some kind of organization at night when you descend into that chaos. And partly what seems to happen is that your categorical, your categories have boundaries, right? But sometimes you don't have the categories correct. And so the boundaries have to loosen and other things need to be put in the categories or some things shunted away. And in the dream, the category structure loosens, which is why dreams are so peculiar. But they're experimenting. It's your mind is experimenting with the underlying categorical structure of imagination and trying to update your mode of being in the world. Dreams often concentrate on things that provoke anxiety. So if you wake people up when they're dreaming, the most commonly reported emotion is anxiety. And so the dream is like the first stages of the attempt to contend with the unknown. And so the dream is half unknown and half known, which is also why it's so peculiar, because you kind of understand it, but you don't really. And it partakes of the unknown and of the known. And it's the bridge between the two, something like that. So.
Thank you for watching this video. This is the Archangel 911. If you enjoyed what you were watching, please click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Have a nice day.